What is up, everybody? It is Kellen here from Start Your Systems with another MX Simulator tutorial video, and today we're going to take a look at rollers in MX Simulator. A fan requested this on the channel when he saw the video of the track walk that I did on this track right here, my compound, and figured why not? Millville's coming up, so let's do it. I'm also running the number 1 because Loretta Lynn's is this week, and I won the Open Pro Sport Championship last year, so that's that. Basically, rollers, the easiest way to simplify it for sim is you know, kind of like any whoop section, you want to keep your front wheel high, or you know, do anything you can to not let it dip. As soon as it dips in between the gaps and dips really low, like you're kind of like nosediving, whatever, you're immediately going to start getting, well, for one, really out of shape, and two, it's going to be really hard to bring it back. Like if you start getting sideways or whatever, it's almost impossible to bring it back at such speeds. Like I'm 5th gear on a 450 through here. And there's plenty of ways to, you know, just kind of make it easily through. Just stay right on top of them, be going really quickly. It's just something that you kind of need to find your own little way of getting through. Here's the Millville whoops, though. The Millville whoops from last year. Not really too sure what the whoops are going to look like on the track this year because it's a brand new track. However, just kind of the same principle that you saw on the compound that I was just doing. You know, keeping the front end high, keeping the momentum going, doubling your way through is probably ideal, especially in Millville, because the more you're off the ground with the sandy conditions, the better it'll be. You can see from the behind view, even if it starts getting a little out of shape like it did right there, don't panic, don't like start trying to overcorrect or anything. Usually, if you're going at a decent speed and you're not kicked too far out, it should just kind of correct itself as long as you stay leaned back and keeping that front wheel up in the air. The rear tire is going to follow through almost anywhere that you go. So here's a little slow-mo of that same section that I just went through. Of course, there's like really fast left-hand sweeper entering the whoops at Millville, so you got to be really on your game. Like you can see right here, I start getting sideways. It kicks out pretty far to the right, but if you're just kind of noticing how far you are in each whoop, if it doesn't get too far kicked, you're totally fine. Like I wouldn't worry about really big kicks one way or the other. It's not really any problem with your setup. It's more or less you just happen to hit that kicker in that one spot or whatever. But again, keeping the momentum up right here, 4th gear through the sand whoops, and then as you get down to the U-turn down here, braking becomes kind of an essential part because you come right out of the rollers into the U-turn, and it's pretty hard to get to the inside, but I'll show you guys how to do that a little bit later on. Get on the gas. Watch your RPMs as well when you're shifting up, getting back into the rollers, because you don't want to just be wah through and bogging all the way. You kind of want to, you know, keep those revs high in between jumps, get as much traction as you can to get as much pop in between them. And again, like I said, at Millville, you have turns on either side, and as you get down here, the ideal scenario is right here at the end. You're going to double out and land right on that inside rut, just downside the double, and boom, inside rut. Get on the gas, heading back up the hill over here. But that's kind of the Millville whoops in a nutshell. I mean, I'll show you guys a couple angles here to kind of further emphasize what I'm talking about, and in fact, a different line entirely. First off, I'll show you guys first-person camera because I know there's a lot of first-person players in this game, and you'd like to see how it is through here. But again, it's nothing too special. You just kind of have to make sure you know exactly where you are at all times. That's kind of a learned thing. A lot of people ask me, oh, how can you be so fast and know what's happening? Well, playing the game for 3 years, you learn eventually what things are going to happen and how it's going to happen and how to attack it differently. But here's a different line. You jump to the outside here, and you can see I almost triple in the middle there. But again, front wheel high most of the time. You got to keep that rear wheel getting traction, and that's me showing you guys how to get to that inside line, even with a couple, you know, slight kicks here and there coming into the corner, as long as you're on the brakes, leaning back. And for the most part on the ground, you don't want to just be jumping and on the brakes. But if you're on the ground, braking into that corner, it's not too difficult to get to the inside, especially if you do it in the right spot. Like I'm braking well before the corner, like 2 or 3 rollers before. Turn around, again, front wheel high. Got a little kick there, but nothing that you can't correct if you just keep pushing through and leaning back and more or less humping the bike. So one last turn through them here in first-person camera for all the first-person players that like to see it. But anyway, that is a tutorial in rollers. We've got Millville this week, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll have plenty more tutorial videos coming as the outdoors are coming to a close.